So if you guys have watched my last video, you guys will know that I recently just got a new tattoo. And if you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's an awesome tattoo. It's one of my best tattoos yet. But after I get a tattoo done, I always wonder, how am I going to sleep with this tattoo? There are a bunch of factors you got to take into account when you go to sleep in your bed. And that is bacteria, your significant other, pets, your bed sheets themselves. And we're going to be talking about, the first day of sleeping with a fresh new tattoo, along with the week and 2 weeks leading up to when it's fully healed. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. In this channel, we pretty much talk about all things that are tattoo related, my experience and opinions on certain topics, but most importantly, my journey towards getting my tattoos and working towards a bodysuit. So if you're new, go subscribe, join the community, but let's keep going and let's get into today's video. Let's go. So there are a couple things that you're going to want to do right after you get your tattoo, leading up to about 3 days after you now have an open wound on you and your body is signaling to heal that tattoo, and you just want your body in its tip-top shape to go and heal that tattoo the best possible way so it can turn out the best possible product it can. And that is, one, you're going to want to drink lots of water throughout the day. You want to keep your body well replenished. The next thing you want to do is get lots of sleep. Your body does a majority of its healing at nighttime, so you definitely want to get a good sleep from the first night to about 3-4 days after the tattoo, so your body is in its best possible shape again to go and heal that piece. So now I know you're asking me, Justin, I don't care about 3-4 days after. I want to know right now. It's day one. How do I sleep with the tattoo? And we're going to get into that right now. So right when you leave the tattoo shop, you're going to be sent home with a plastic wrap to cover the tattoo and protect it from the elements of, the outside world. Now, if you guys haven't watched my videos on AFTERCARE, I have a day 0 one, but you should definitely watch, but I also have a playlist. I'll put it right here in the cards for you guys. Go watch that so you guys know exactly how to take care of the tattoo, because I always say tattoo aftercare is the most important part of a tattoo. When you're sent home from the tattoo with that plastic wrap, after 2 hours, you're going to want to take that off and clean it of the plasma, the excess blood, and ink that is left there. Once it's cleaned, you're going to want to put a new plastic wrap on, and then you're also going to want to put healing ointment on as well. So now you have two barriers that are protecting it from the elements of the world. You got the healing ointment, but the first barrier you have is that plastic wrap. So I would say for the first night, going into bed and sleeping with it, you can sleep any way you want, how you want. You don't got to worry about your bed sheets getting stained just because you got that plastic wrap. I would definitely recommend, and this is a key point, is change your bed sheets beforehand. One, make sure that they are clean so they are free of any bacteria. And two, make sure they are a darker set of bed sheets, just because you can always run the chance of blood or ink sinking out of the plastic wrap and going onto the bed sheets. Now I have white, as you guys can see, and I was lucky. I tested it out and I didn't have any problems with it. But I still would always recommend being safe, better safe than sorry, because once that ink or blood is in there, it's hard to come out. Also, you can always protect yourself even further by wearing clothing over it and then having your bed sheets. I definitely recommend though to keep the plastic wrap on for the first night, along with the healing ointment and along with a new pair of bed sheets that are clean from bacteria and a darker set that you don't mind getting stained. So from now day 2 on to about the 2-3 week mark, you are no longer going to want to use plastic wrap. For me personally, I like to have my tattoo breathe from this time on, but there are a couple things you got to watch out for now on day 2. One, I will definitely say, is do not try to sleep on the tattoo itself. Don't try to put a lot of pressure. And I say that because, okay, say you have a tattoo on your shoulder and you are wearing clothing. But if you're sleeping on your shoulder, you're putting a lot of pressure on that tattoo and the shirt or even the bed sheets. And have you ever had an open wound and you put bandages over and the skin and whatever the sheets or the clothing kind of heal together, and then when you try to take it off, it's stuck? That can happen in that scenario, and then you can possibly run the chance of either injuring the wound again. You can either run the risk of, removing ink when you pull it out. So you definitely don't want to put pressure and sleep on this tattoo. You want to kind of keep it open. You want to keep it out, and you want to let it air dry. Now we're going to talk about a furry little creature that loves to sleep with us. I know how much you guys love your pets, whether it's a cat or dog. They love to come into the bed and sleep with you. I know my dog loved to do that. You know, he was always cuddle up right beside you. And as much as it sucks, is you got to kind of tell them no for the first couple days after your tattoo. And they carry in a lot of stuff with them, you know, from rolling around, from doing their everyday life, rolling on the floor, lying on the floor. They just bring all that into the bed, and once they're up beside you, you never know what you can catch. Also, you will have an open wound, and what the animals tend to do when they see an open wound is they want to lick it. They have a lot of disease and a lot of things in that mouth of theirs that you do not want on your fresh new tattoo. So it's better just to say, you know, to tell the puppy, tell the cat, whatever, to stay on the floor or stay outside. You can let them sleep in your bed too if you want. I just recommend them not to, or keeping your distance away from them. So now we're going to talk about sleeping with a significant other in your bed. Now, I know it's not like your dog. You can't go and tell them to sleep on the floor. You can't go tell them to sleep outside or on the couch. I mean, you can if you really wanted to. I'm sure some people do. But, you know, for the most part, they're going to be sleeping right beside you, either to the right of you or to the left of you. If you have a tattoo, say you have it on your left arm, you're going to want to sleep on the opposite of them from where that tattoo is. You want to give it as much distance as you can from that tattoo and them. Just because, you know, you never know what happens in the bed. Some people, you know, can, you know, they want to cuddle with you, they throw yourself over, and they can scratch you. You never know what happens. So you just want to try to give as much space as possible with them. I know with when my girlfriend was sleeping over, I have to keep my foot and my leg a little further away on an angle, just in case, you know, because you never know if a leg will scratch you, a toenail or something catches the leg. And the last thing you want to do is have a scratch on your tattoo that is still kind of fresh and healing. I'll show you guys right now what happens when your tattoo gets scratched while it's healing. I know it's not much, but it's there and you can see it. It's that faint little line, and it just sucks to know that I could have prevented it by taking a little extra precaution. Just make sure you're planning ahead of time. If you usually sleep on one side and they sleep on the other, and then you have that tattoo that's on this arm, you know, switch sides for the couple days, for the 2 weeks until it's healed, and then you can go back to your normal routine. So now there is another option you guys can go with. It isn't one that is as available, but you can get it online, and that is Saniderm or any kind of second skin barrier. You can get them on Amazon. I know Saniderm is the more known name. It is expensive, so it's always best to ask your artist if they offer it. And the reason why I say this type of product is because it stays on you for a whole week after you get the tattoo. It actually doesn't stay on for a whole week. You got to take it off, clean it, and then reapply it. So you got to always ask for another piece. I haven't tried it personally for myself, but from what I hear, from what I've read, it works great. I can't wait to try it out for myself. But, you know, it acts as a barrier. You kind of forget about all the other things. You don't got to worry about changing your bed sheets. You don't got to worry about your dog coming onto your bed, bringing in bacteria. You don't got to worry about scratching as much from your significant other. It is definitely a huge one to consider, but it is not really readily available. So it's a matter of just, you know, if you can get it or not. If you can, great. I definitely recommend to get it, because then all that other stuff kind of goes out the window. So what I want you guys to do now is, you know, go into the comments and let me know what you guys do for sleeping. Do you take the precautions that I usually do, or do you kind of say F it and you just forget about it and you just let your tattoo heal the way it does? Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you learned something new. The more I see this community grow, the more it motivates me to get more tattoos. And I know you guys love my tattoos, and I love my tattoos too. But do that for me. Go subscribe. And then again, just comment. Let me know what you guys do and the precautions you take when you guys sleep in your bed. But I hope you guys liked this video. Until next time, Justin out. Later, guys.